2007, he was convicted in 3 cases of rape and attempt to murder and sentenced to 30 years for prison. From Kapurthala, he was shifted to Jalandhar Central Jail and then to Ludhiana Central Jail. On December 3rd, 2003, his mercy petition was accepted on the basis of his good conduct and was released from the jail. By this time, he had developed a grudge against migrants, holding them responsible for wasting many years of his life. After his release, he came back to Jalandhar, where he started working in a factory in the leather complex area. He lived in a rented room in Model House locality to take his revenge against the migrants. He started targeting their children. Overall, this is pretty messed up. How are you gonna let someone out of jail for 1, throwing a grenade at someone's house and raping and murdering, attempting murder on someone's child, and they let him out? Nonetheless, how did he get his victims? Singh would lure his victims with sweets, samosas, sugarcane juice, and crackers. He took them to a secluded place where he would attack the victim. In most cases, he slit their throat and attempted to rape their dead bodies. After his arrest, he said that he raped the dead bodies so that there would be no shriek of victims. He preferred to kidnap the children between 10 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. when most of the migrant laborers were away in factories. After his arrest, he said that he was not drunk at the time of committing crimes, but afterwards celebrated almost each of the killings with liquor and good food. That's what he was quoted saying. Allegedly, during a 7-month period, 23 children, most of them below the age of 12, went missing from Kapurthala city. Out of 23, 6 were recovered by the police. Darbara Singh admitted that he killed the other 17 victims, including 15 boys and 15 girls and 2 boys. He subjected many of the dead bodies to rape and sodomy. He said that he had dumped most of the bodies near a bridge in Rai Katur Sahib Road. Singh targeted non-Punjabi migrants. He killed 1 Punjabi girl by mistake and was actually shaken by her death. So, how did he even get arrested for all the crimes he had committed? By September 2004, panic had spread among local residents. In the preceding 4 months, 14 children had been kidnapped with no ransom demands, and 10 of them were still missing. The chopped arm of a child was found near a Biriana, which is a village 4 kilometers of Jalandhar in Punjab, and partly decomposed body of a 10-year-old girl was found in Cheru, which is a village district of Kapurthala. The police were looking for a middle-aged, psycho-born suspect who was probably mentally challenged. A special investigation team analyzed the killer's motive and prepared a sketch based on information gathered from different sources. On the morning of October 29th, 2004, police received information about a bicyclist who resembled a sketch and was seen with a bag of toffees. SHO, which is station house officer, which is the officer in charge of a police station in India. Pritam Singh was dispatched to nab the person who turned This man abducted me, especially when you're a little kid. Must be scary. But shout out to him for actually being brave and coming forward. After his arrest, Darbara Singh showed no remorse, even when he was taken to the site where he had dumped the bodies. He told police that he could have killed more children if he had not been arrested so soon. He said that he had no remorse for killing the children of migrant laborers, as they were instrumental in sending him to jail. He also added that he targeted a Punjabi girl by mistake and had to kill her because she could have created problems for him. He said that he was a bit shaken by this, as previously mentioned. He contradicted himself by first saying, "I still think whatever I did was right and it was the demand of the time," but then adding, "I think what was done by me was wrong and I promise that I would never do it again." So it's like he knew he was going to jail for a long time again. Like he wanted to say he did it, but at the same time probably was saying, "I would never do it again," just to get a lower sentence. Nonetheless, after his arrest, he was charged in 18 cases of abduction, rape, and murder, and by 2007 he was acquitted in 3 cases due to the lack of sufficient evidence. On January 7th, 2008, Judge Iqbal Singh Bajwa awarded him death sentence for the murders of Khurshid and Rangu in 2004. On January 9th, he was shifted from Jalandhar jail to Patiala Central Jail for hanging. In April 2008, Singh was tried for raping and killing 8-year-old Dishka. On April 18th, 2004, her sister and her 2 cousins identified Singh in court. Singh's counsel claimed that he had been falsely implicated and based his defense on the premise that the children were tortured witnesses. On April 25th, 2008, Judge B.K. Mehta of Jalandhar Court sentenced him to life imprisonment. On July 2009, Justice Mehtab Singh Gill and Justice Jitendra Chauhan of the Punjab and Haryana High Court reversed the death sentence awarded to Darbara Singh for murder of Khurshid and Rangu, citing insufficient evidence. A court acquitted Darbara Singh, giving him the benefit of the doubt. Wow. The prosecution had presented Jitardar Pritam Singh as a witness. Pritam claimed that he had recognized Darbara Singh at a police checkpost on 29th October 2004, leading to the later's arrest. He also claimed to have seen Darbara Singh taking the 2 children away from Basti Mittu on a bicycle on October 25th. Pritam stated that he was going towards Basti Mittu at the time. Once he reached Basti Mittu, he came to know that 2 children were missing from the area. He then rushed to the place where he had seen Darbara earlier, but he did not find him or the children there. Although this incident happened October 25th, 2004, he did not report it until the 28th of October. This was despite the fact that he was a member of Akali Dal's working committee, which is a centric political party in Punjab, and was well aware of the children's abductions incidents happening in the area. That kind of sucks. Like, why would you not report that right away? Therefore, the court ruled him out as a planted witness. The prosecution had also presented Darbara's fingerprints on the liquor bottle and glass, stating that these 2 objects had been recovered from the place where the dead bodies were found. In support, the prosecution had presented the testimonies of several policemen and the owner of the field where the bodies had been found. The court pointed out that there was no mention of the objects in inquest reports of Khurshid and Rangu. Besides, the High Court's decision as wholly erroneous. On December 10th, 2010, Judge B.S. Sandhu acquitted Heminder as being rape and murder cases because of insufficient evidence. Darbara Singh was also convicted of kidnapping and causing life-threatening injury to Nishu. Nishu could not speak because of the throat injury, but she used expressions to identify Darbara Singh as a kidnapper and attacker. Kuti, a neighbor of Nishu, also testified that she'd seen Darbara Singh standing with his bicycle in the area where the kids were playing. Another man also testified that he had seen Darbara taking a young girl on the carrier of his bicycle in Ishwar village. Singh appealed against the conviction in High Court, but his appeal rejected. However, in 2018, Singh fell ill, was moved from the prison to the government hospital in Patiala on June 2nd. There he died on June 6th. His family refused to claim his body, calling his crimes unpardonable. This was the case of the serial killer Darbara Singh. Let me know what you think about it in the comments, what I can improve in my ASMR style, and anything else, leave it in the comments. Let me know. I personally thought this guy caught so many breaks right from his early life, from throwing a grenade and getting away with that. That is unacceptable. Nonetheless, this is a weird case. This guy was catching breaks left, right, and center. I think India police could have done a better job. So let me know what you think. That's my opinion and my take on it. Yeah, stay tuned for more videos.